So, what does this all really mean? To talk about it, we have Professor Sachin Chaturvedi, DGRIS for developing countries and eminent economist himself. Dr. Chaturvedi, thank you for joining us. And let me ask you first, in terms of strategic significance, it's quite obvious this road is leading to Ladakh, Ladakh, and that's where a lot of effort has gone in to augment the defenses, India's strategic defenses in that region. But economically, to what extent do you think such projects boost the activities that take place in especially far-flung regions?
Absolutely right, Gautam. If you see in last 10 years, government has ensured that more expenditure comes in when it is the border areas. And if you see the specific focus that we have laid out on borders, the border development, our idea is largely in terms of seeing the huge budgetary allocation. And that has happened in last 10 years. If you see in 2013-14, the allocation was merely 3,000 crores. And now we are realizing the whole budgetary allocation has gone to 14,000 crores. So this huge jump of almost 4 times in our border infrastructure building. I think today Sonmarg's the tunnel inauguration by the Honorable Prime Minister is the commitment in terms of developing not only the borderline infrastructure, but also giving boost to economic activities, creating greater employment opportunities, and above all, better connectivity across difficult terrains within the country.
Yes, certainly. I mean, one cannot really look at these projects just from the prism of economic benefits, because the strategic benefits are immeasurable if you consider the whole picture. But economically as well, do you think that as far as the country's economic development, especially holistic development is concerned, such projects are extremely necessary, because they begin, once they are commissioned, to cater to areas which are or have been historically for decades, ever since India's independence and perhaps even before this, very, very economically backward.
Absolutely right, Gautam. If you see continuous commitment that has been there for enhancing capex in our budget, if you recall, last year, Finance Minister announced 11.11 lakh crore expenditure for capex, which is almost 3.4% of our GDP. So the consistent commitment for capital expenditure for infrastructure development, and also for creating new epicenters for economic development, particularly in regions like Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, and also northeastern states, where this has been neglected for many, many years, decades actually. So this huge commitment that Finance Minister has come up with, Prime Minister's larger canvas that is set for regional connectivity. Gati Shakti project is a clear manifestation of that. So you find in all a greater growing interlinkages, intertwining the regional development strategies through infrastructure development with strategic perspective, and also trying to create new avenues for development. The G20 presidency demonstrated that, and also ensured how it delivers the larger global canvas that we could capture here in India. And during that and since then, more and more push for infrastructure development.
Let me just quote to you what the LG said at this event itself, where this tunnel was inaugurated. He said in 2024, the number of tourists that visited J&K went up to 23.5 million. And 2023, the figure was 21.1 million, and the arrival of foreign tourists have jumped up by 300% in the last 2.5 years. Bear in mind that tourism is a mainstay for a region like Jammu and Kashmir and also Ladakh.
Absolutely, and that's where Gautam, with growing commitment for law and order, growing commitment for strategic infrastructure development to keep an eye on infiltrators and also the terrorist activities which were on. Now those very sort of efforts are now getting directed in terms of the new employment opportunities. So the efforts are in terms of leveraging those options, and youth is now seeing economic development as an opportunity. They are seeing this as a possibility. So you are doing much more through capital expenditure, and I think this is largely a solution for conflict-affected areas. In Chhattisgarh, also similar effort is on, and I'm sure with the growing economic push, with strategic vision, we are able to combine both the objectives.
Yes, and this has also happened at a time when India and China are looking to sort of resolve issues on the border itself. We've already seen some progress over there. Lots still to come as well. But do you think that that could also, if one moves forward in terms of disengagement as well, after agreeing on patrolling along the LAC in those disputed areas, do you think that would also help the situation along too?
Definitely. If you see the current consideration within the government, and as Prime Minister already announced, there would be more concerted efforts to take Gati Shakti like programs to our neighborhood and more countries. If you see Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, they already have proposed what kind of Gati Shakti they can be part of, how connectivity with India should be enhanced, should be integrated, and they take advantage of similar efforts that are on in India, how to connect with India's growth story, with one of the fastest global economy. More and more of our neighbors are very keen to connect, and that requires infrastructure. So if you see efforts, the governments in the neighborhood have exhibited their commitment, their interest, and willingness to partner. And this would also motivate other actors to also connect and see the possibilities. India-China partnership, at least reducing tension on the borders, and also trying to do the confidence-building measures to be initiated, launched, and we embark on that more sincerely, I think would motivate many more actors in the region to connect with this larger story that is coming up for infrastructure development.
And you also feel that this has been a holistic drive. We're talking about a tunnel being unveiled today, so another route, an all-weather route being created by road. But what about rail and air? Do you think concerted effort is being made in that direction as well?
On that as well, but as I was intending to mention, Gautam, don't forget about the energy grids that are coming up. So in South Asian region, you already find a greater effort to bring in electricity supply from Nepal to Bangladesh, from Bhutan to India. You find a greater effort for electricity grid to come in. After the G20, we had launched what was called as India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. And the idea was that the South Asia grid would be connected with the GCC grid, and the Southeast Asia, the ASEAN grid, would be connected with us, which would bring in Myanmar on board, where a perpetual electricity crisis and high cost is a source of worry for them. So you find that with physical infrastructure coming in, railway, inland waterways, and riverine connection within the region, plus the air connectivity. So that all is giving you a multimodal connectivity within the region, and on top of that is this electric grid connection. So you find, Gautam, ample opportunities in terms of how the regional integration can really happen, and that would also kick in a larger economic development opportunity in our neighborhood as well.
Certainly sounds wonderful, and let's hope we make more progress and benefits accrue more and more to the region as well through these activities. Thanks a lot for joining us and talking about it, Dr. Chaturvedi.